What's up, everybody? AdamOS Retro here. We're doing another tier list. A lot of people liked my last Halloween candy one, so I was like, you know what? I'm a retro gaming station. Maybe we should do some retro gaming tier list. I don't know why I chose Taito first. I just did. So, there's a Taito list here of, it looks like 24, 25 games. We're going to go through them. And over here on the right, I will have a screenshot of each game. So you know like what kind of we're going into, and I'll tell you why I put it where I did. So we got our S through F tier as normal. I don't do the pluses and the minuses and all that bullshit. It's a little too much. 6 categories is enough. I even think that's a little too much. But here we go. So first off is Arkanoid. Now Arkanoid is like one of your classic arcade games. It's been around forever. This was a port to the Nintendo system. It was really good port. I mean, for real, like this was like a really legitimate port. I like the colors. Everything pops real well. The controls pretty good for just a D-pad. You know, this is more of a trackball game, but you know, hey, you do what you can. Am I a big fan of the game? Not so much. So I'm gonna put it in the B tier only because, like, I don't know, it's just kind of a boring game. I do think Arkanoid's one of the harder versions of this gameplay. The ball moves really fast. Your guy moves really fast, so it's really hard to like accurately do what you want to do. There's a lot of times where you'll hit the ball 30 times in a row and nothing breaks. I don't know. It's an okay game for what it is. It's a great port, so we'll put it in the B tier for sure. So next is Bobble Two. I don't know why they put 2 before 1. So Bobble 2. Not many people have played this game. In fact, I'm not even 100% sure American got a release of this game. I know we got what was called Bobble 2, which is coming up on the list, but this game was alright. I mean, as you can tell, the graphics are pretty good. It's a huge increase from the first game, but I think it took away from just the overall gameplay that the first game had. It's fun. I like it. I like the point system and all that. It's different. It's a pretty good game. I mean, I'm going to put it in the A tier. It's pretty goddamn good for what it is. And I'm going to keep saying for what it is, because what it is, it's a ripoff of... Well, it's not even a ripoff. It's just a sequel to the first Bobble, which, to me, is one of the best games on the NES. As you can see, the graphics are kind of lower. But the gameplay, I think, is just solid, man. The controls are fun, you know, once you get used to them, because they're different than most other games. But I love that there's, 100 levels, big boss at the end. There's a couple secrets in there. You can get the extra bubbles and get the extra worlds, 2-player co-op. I mean, the game just hits on all marks. It's got to go on S. The only thing that I think it would lose points on is that there's one song that repeats the entire game. But it's actually a really badass song. So, but I mean, one song, 100 levels, it can get a little rough. But yeah, it's a score-based game, but it's fun, man. I really enjoy Bobble, and I've had a lot of people co-op play with me and have enjoyed it as well. All right, so we got Demon Sword. Oh, Demon Sword. Okay, so Demon Sword is an interesting platformer. It has a little bit of RPG element to it, as you can kind of tell from that picture. I haven't really gotten into this one too much, to be completely honest with you. I have played it. I didn't enjoy it too much. I just felt like it was one of those games that was too difficult out of the gate. Now, I like a good challenge, but this one just, like, shoves your face in it from the start. It doesn't make much sense. Like, maybe if you had the booklet. I haven't read the booklet, so maybe the booklet helps. But it's one of those games like, what the fuck do I do? What am I supposed to be doing? What is the goal? What are these items? I mean, I'm gonna have to put it in a C, because it's not like a terrible game. It's not like broken or anything. But there's just not much to it that I find enjoyable. Now, there's gonna be people who disagree with everything I say. And they might give you some better insight on like why they like this game and why it's good. And maybe if I gave it more time, I'd like it better. But as it stands right now, I think C tier is pretty good for that. So, Dungeon Magic. This is like one of those old dungeon crawlers, like Bard's Tale and all that. It's funny. it's funny because like I've played this before and we got some funny screenshots out of it. But you know, it is what it is. It's a dungeon crawler. Is it a bad one? No. Are dungeon crawlers bad games? Not necessarily. I find them pretty fucking boring, to be honest. I mean, you know, they're a product of their time. They couldn't do much. But like, we can't say, oh, because they couldn't do much with, you know, their time, that we can't judge them accordingly. No, this is a pretty shitty game, to be honest. Can you have fun with it? Yeah, but I have to go D tier, which is all it is. We got one in each. It's kind of funny, but yeah, I have to go D tier on it. It's bad. It's just boring. It's not a lot of fun. It's hard to figure out what you're doing. There's no graphics to it. You know, like. Are there worse games? Yeah, but I mean, I'm just gonna have to go D tier on it. Alright, so next is Elevator Action, another classic arcade game that's been ported on just about everything. So of course Nintendo had to grab their port, and Taito did their job on it. This is actually a pretty decent port. The graphic style is a little different, but other than that, it's almost straight out of the arcade. It functions well, it plays well, it does the job. I'm not into this game at all. I think it's really stupid and boring. I also think it can be very brutal. Not the difficulty, but just like they put you in situations that I swear like you just can't do anything except eat shit in. So I'm not a big fan of those kind of games, whereas a lot of people are. I'm gonna put it with the other arcade. It's B tier. Just NES. Just NES. We're doing Taito NES tier list. So I think it's good. It's good for what it is, but I don't like it. So I'm gonna put it in the B tier. I don't want to put it lower just because I don't like the game, but I have to keep that into consideration. This is my tier list. So there it is, Elevator Action. So now we got two Flintstone games. This first one is Adventures of Dino and Hoppy, maybe. Sorry, my nose is extra itchy today. We're gonna have fun with that. Gotta love dialysis, right? So, I mean, it's your basic platformer. It's not bad. I think the weapon's kind of broken as shit. Like, I end up taking a lot of damage in this game that I don't feel I should have. The platforming is very basic, as you can see. It's really just to get to point A to point B. There's not much in there. The control's kind of awful, but it's not terrible. I mean, is it a decent game? Sure. You know, are you gonna have a good time playing it? Maybe. It's just it's the true definition of mediocre. Like, it's not bad, it's not good. Graphics, soundtrack are okay. You know, like, I don't know, man. It's hard. I'm gonna put this in the B tier as well. Like, it's a decent game. I don't mind it, but I'm not gonna go out of my way and play it. I think B tier is where it stands. Because it's not on the dumb side, but it's on the decent side. So then our next one is the one that everyone's trying to find. This is that Blockbuster exclusive, the Dino Peak. Now, to me, this was just another version of the last game. Is it any better? Maybe a little bit. It's got a different mechanic to it, but it's got the same shit controls and hitbox and platforming, and I mean, it's like kind of the difference between the Bubble Bobbles. So I mean, I'm gonna put it in the B tier. I have nothing else to really say about it because it's like the same fucking game as the other one. I mean, there's gonna be people that know those games better than I do, and they'll give you the differences. But I mean, to me, they're the same goddamn game. I'm moving on. Yeah. So next is this really shitty Indiana Jones game. Now there's technically three, but they're the same games in the sense. Taito made The Last Crusade, and oh my god, is it just a flop? It's bad. Like, just everything about it's bad. You can tell from that picture. It's just like, it looks like shit, it plays like shit, it's designed like shit, it's just shit. It's just shit. And if it was broken, I'd put it in the F tier, but, I mean, other than it not be broken, just stay away from it. I mean, I can't put it in F tier, but maybe I can. I don't. You know, we're gonna have to put something in F tier. So I think we're gonna put that in F tier. I mean, it's just a terrible fucking game. I don't think anyone I've ever talked to has had anything good to say about it. And I'm not sure if they made the original or who did, because I think, wasn't it that whoever made Gauntlet, Tengen, I think Tengen put out a copy of the exact game. So I don't know who made it first, who did it what, but it's just a shit game, absolute shit game. Okay, so Jetsons, Cogswells Caper. Now this, I always loved the cartoon, and this actually is pretty good to the source material. The game itself is fantastic. It's a great platformer. I like that you pick up things, you throw the boxes. It kind of reminds me of Chip and Dale in a sense. So yeah, it's a pretty solid game, man. I like it. It's hard. Don't get me wrong. It's kind of hard. It's kind of hard. But I don't think that takes away from it. I'm gonna put it in the A tier. Like it's a fun playthrough. Once you get pretty good at it, it's a lot of fun, man. If you like the Jetsons, it's even more fun. Like the graphics are amazing. Soundtrack's pretty good. Control is phenomenal. It's just, yeah, it's an A tier. It's not S tier, but it's damn close. It's definitely an A tier game. I would recommend checking out Jetsons Cogswells Caper. You're gonna get your ass handed to you though, but don't let it discourage you. It's just because like you got to get used to the game, understand how it works. It has a little bit of a memorization fact to it, so you'll die a few times before you figure it out. So give it a chance, though. Give it a chance. Alright, so Kickmaster. Oh, holy shit, Kickmaster. This is a hard as fuck game, because it is very difficult to... How am I going to put this? Like, the controls aren't bad, but it makes the game difficult. But at the same time, when you master them, it's not as bad. I think the game's pretty awesome. It's like you can tell the graphics are pretty cool. It's kind of like a Ninja Gaiden, but like better in my opinion, to be honest. Like Ninja Gaiden is fun, but I think this one's a little bit better. It has like a leveling system and stuff, but it's pretty linear. They could have gone without it, to be honest. Just made it like Mega Man or something, or like Ninja Gaiden, where it's just all the enemies are the same. But it's kind of fun in that regard. You get a bunch of weapons. It does change how you play it a little bit. So I'm going to put this in the A tier. This one's definitely worth checking out. I have to say this, though. The difficulty is really going to keep people away from it. That's why I didn't put it in the S class. Because, honest to God, the difficulty... And some people will say, oh, it's not that difficult. It is. Dude, the hitbox is weird. It's really fast-paced, so it's hard to keep up with. The control makes it really hard with the fast-paced action. It's tough. It's tough. It's a huge learning curve, but it can be done. It's a good game. Okay, so, Kiwi Craze. This game is fucking weird, man. I don't remember this having a US release, but I could be wrong. But I have played it. We got pretty far in it. I remember we played it until like game overed. I don't know how far I actually got in the game, but decently far. Like we were like at least 10 levels in. It's a fun little game, man. It's a platformer. It's kind of like, it reminds me of like Milon's Secret Castle in the sense that like the whole level is like multiple screens on a grid, but like you have to platform to get through it, or like get the power up to fly. It's fun. I had a good time with it. Kind of boring though, like what you're looking at is kind of the color scheme, the way it looks too. It's just very bland, a lot of yellow. Your character is just like that bird, the one that you see in the cage, but it's just, I don't know, man. It kind of lacks for me, but it's not a bad game. It's just like I have to put it in the C tier because like the color sucks, the soundtrack kind of sucks. I do like the bosses though, but they destroy you until you figure out what you have to do. But then like it takes like a few deaths and then playing the level again to understand the boss battle. Like it has a lot of flaws. The controls kind of sucky, but like it's not bad. You'll have fun with it. Don't get me wrong. You'll have fun with it, but I don't think you'll play through it like I did. Like I wanted to give it one game over, and then I was like, you know, I got my fix on it. Moving on. Legend of Kage. Oh my god, this fucking game. So this one's really hard to explain because people don't understand it, but the point isn't to just get to point A and point B as fast as you can. It's an arcade game. It's about score. You want to find, like, the scroll. Like, there's little scrolls that give you a bunch of points. There's dudes that go across the screen and give you power-ups. Every guy you kill gives you shit. If you just jump, you're just going to eat shit the whole time and die. But the game is hard as fuck. I guess there's like, I think there's like 4 levels and then 4 seasons. But it's still technically the same 4 levels. It just has like a different background, different like color scheme to it. And then like you technically beat the game, but it you know, it cycles. It's like Kung Fu or something, you know. But like most of the time you just get your ass handed to you and there's nothing you can do. Like you'll jump, but like once you jump you have no control of your character. So if some guy just decides to come out of nowhere and just throws a star at you, you're fucked. And that happens constantly. Because you jump like you're on the fucking moon times 10. So yeah, I mean this is like, I'm not putting it in F because actually it seems kind of fun. Like the idea is pretty neat. I like games that cycle, you know, and top score. I'm kind of into that. But like this game just ruins it with just the most like trolley death bullshit you'll ever experience in a game. Like, so like play it, seriously, you'll play it for 2 minutes tops. You're like, fuck this game. But it's not broken and it's not bad, so I can't give it an F tier. But it definitely deserves a D. Don't play this game. Little Samson. Oh my god, the Holy Grail, the NES collection. If you take away like stadium events and all those like bullshit games, you know, whatever that has like the gold card, there's like 50 of them made. That, you know, but actual like manufactured, developed, tested, full-fledged games, Little Samson is the most expensive, but actually for a reason. It's a really good game. You get like 4 different characters that all have different play styles and abilities and hit points, and you know but you can switch like on command. You hit start, you switch the guy. They all have different hitbox, kind of like the Ninja Turtles game. If you played the original Ninja Turtles game, same ordeal, but a little bit more flushed out with the characters. And then each level has like sections for each character. There's boss battles. This game is fucking awesome. Pretty hard, but you know what? I'm going S tier with it. When it comes to like platformer games, you don't get much better than Little Samson, to be honest. Like, it's hard. It's a hard ass game. It'll take a little learning curve, but once you get it, you're gonna have a lot of fun with this game, dude. I'm telling you, Little Samson, S class for sure. All right, so now we got Operation Wolf. This is like a wannabe light gun game. You know, you move the cursor with the D-pad. Anytime you have to move the cursor with the D-pad, it's an automatic fail in my book. Because like they put guys on like opposite ends of the screen all the time. So you have to spend like all this. You spend most of your time just trying to even like put the cursor on the dude. You know, like it's just not fluid. It works for light gun because like you're aiming and but like just the D-pad cursor thing. It's just a setup for failure. And this is one of those games where it's just brutal. It wasn't meant for an NES port. It's hard as shit. You know, you have to watch your ammo. You know, it's like, at least give me infinite ammo. You know, let me just hold the button down and move the cursor. But no, you gotta worry about what you're shooting at, how much you're shooting, where shit is. And look how small the sprites are too. You know, it's just like so goddamn hard. But it's not hard because the game is difficult. It's hard because it's difficult to play. This is D. I want to say F. I really want to put it in F. You know what? Yeah. This game just doesn't... You just don't play Operation Wolf. It fucking sucks, man. I know someone's gonna argue with me in the comments, but fuck this game, dude. It's just not fun. It's just annoying. It's pure fucking aggravation in a video game. Enough said. Panic Restaurant. Panic Restaurant's pretty fucking cool, man. Don't get me wrong. This is just your average platformer. It has a lot of vibes of Yonoid. A lot of Yonoid vibes in this. But I really like it. I really like it. It's hard. This is actually a difficult... it doesn't look like it. It don't look like it, but it fucks with you a little bit. Don't get me wrong. But you can, you know, there's tier system in the weapons. It's basic platformer. It's got a lot of good qualities to it. I love the graphic style, you know, real cartoony and stuff. I'm gonna put this on A. It's a lot of fun, man. A lot of people will tell you if they have gotten into this game, it is worth the effort and the time you put into getting good at it to beat it. Good payoff game. I mean, it's a solid game. Why it's not S? You'll play it and you'll know. It's just like it could just be tweaked a little bit better in every aspect. Like the control can be better, the weapon hitbox can be a little bit better. You know, like some of the obstacles are a little bit funky. It needs polished. That's all. It needs a little bit of polish to be S, but definitely A. Power Blade. Okay, so again we're starting with 2 instead of 1 for some reason. Power Blade 2. Power Blade series is fantastic. To me, this is like what Ninja Gaiden kind of should have been. But Ninja Gaiden was more like a speedrun tactic where you just kind of hold right, whereas this one you can't really do that. But like, I love the power system. As you can see, like in the picture, there's like energy and there's different elements to it, different weapons, different items that you can use. I love the graphic style is pretty cool for Nintendo. You gotta remember this is Nintendo, and it doesn't slow down. Like it's a pretty solid platformer, man. In Taito fashion, though, it's a little bit difficult. This one not so much. Power Blade 2, well, the whole Power Blade series actually was pretty difficult, to be honest. It's one of those games that like you just constantly eat shit. It's really hard to get used to, like, because like enemies don't really respond to your hits, so they just constantly like burn towards you. So if you don't have like your shit powered up, they might just run right into you. So it has that to it. The second one, to be honest, I didn't enjoy as much as the first one. I think it deserves a B tier. It could have been better. I think there was a lot of things that could have been better, because this game was a little bit confusing too, so you end up dying a lot based on just confusion. But Power Blade 1. Now Power Blade 1, as you can see, looks generally the same. A little bit different graphic style, but I think that's for the better. I think the graphics in Power Blade 2 was a little too busy with the backgrounds, and that's why I said like it can get a little funky trying to figure out how the enemies work, what's shooting at you. This one's a little bit easier on the eyes. You know, it's easier to see what's going. The platforming isn't as intense, you know, as you can see from this picture. Kind of basic Mega Man shit. It's funny that the Mega Man's playing in the background. But yeah, this is like a really good Mega Man clone. And I really enjoy it. I enjoy the system. The power is pretty cool. I like the power system. I like I like that there's bars instead of hits. It's really well put together, man. The level design is straight up awesome. It's going A tier. I wish I could put it in S tier, but it just doesn't cut it, man. Like like everything, it needs a little polish. You know, just like Kickmaster, it just needs a little polish. Or I'm sorry, Panic Restaurant. But it's a solid game, man. And I just did what I didn't want to do. Okay. Hold on. So, Puzznic. Okay, Puzznic. It's a puzzle game. And that's one of that's one of the highest levels. But holy shit, Puzznic. Now, I love me a good puzzle game. I love Tetris. I love me the Yoshi games, Yoshi's Cookie and Yoshi. You know, but the problem with some puzzle games, including this one, is just too much shit. Like, there are minds that can handle this, but it's not even based on intelligence. You just have to have the right mind to understand how this game works and how it functions. If you're just a regular player and you like puzzle games, this is not for you. This game is really difficult to understand. It has a really high learning curve. And it's not that it gets more difficult, it just gets to the point where, like, look at that screen. Look at all this shit you have to, like, figure out and what to do. You know, like Tetris, like, it doesn't matter what color or what shape the piece is, you make the lines. You know, Dr. Mario, you have 3 colors, but essentially you match the colors, blah, blah, blah. You don't have to worry about it. This game, there's, like, so much shit to worry about. You have a time limit, there's speed, stitch dropping, you have to play. You know, it's D for me. It's just too much shit. It's like enemy spam in the form of a puzzle game. It's too much. And that's all I can say about it. It's just too much shit. And I think it starts out good. Like, it's a fun game the first couple levels, but then, you know, you get into it after like 10 minutes and it's just like, fuck me, dude. So yeah, like Puzznic, I'm going D tier. Kicks, unfortunately, falls under the same kind of shit, but in a much better way. I love Kicks, dude. Or Quicks, whatever you want to call it. I call it Kicks. Not to be confused with the cereal, which is fucking awesome too. God, I love Kicks, the cereal. But Kicks the game. So the point of Kicks is, so okay, you have this box. Like, see these blue boxes? These don't exist when you first start. You have just the outside border. You control like a little spark that goes around the border. Now, these lines are actually your enemy. They float around, they bounce around, and if they hit you, you die. So you have to move around, and you have to make like a box to turn it green. See, like you'll come out with this line, and then as soon as you touch another border, it fills it in, and that becomes a new border. See, like this is probably the character here. You move along this border, and you can go like zing, zing, and then that would turn green. And you have to get a certain percentage of the screen. See, like this guy has 41% of the 75% he needs. And you just gotta like plan your attacks and go, okay, do little chunks at a time, or maybe take out a big chunk if they're over here and you think you can do it. It's like a risk-reward game. Fun as shit, dude. I fucking love kicks. It's hard as balls, though. Once you get into, like, the 3rd or 4th level, dude, it is hard as shit. They start sending spiders along these lines after you and stuff. These things get quicker. But, man, is it a fun game. I guess you can call it a puzzle game in a sense. But it's more just arcade style. A lot of fun, dude. I love kicks, dude. If you're going to put some effort and time into a game, play some kicks, dude. You'll like it. At least I hope so. I really like kicks, dude. Kicks is awesome. Alright, so now we got Rainbow Islands. Now, this is what everyone, in my opinion, thought was Bobble 2, because it even says it on the goddamn cartridge. But it's not. There is a Bobble 2. This, though, is like in the same cinematic universe, or whatever you want to call it. But this game is a lot of fun. What you do is, okay, you're this dude, and you have to make rainbows as, like, platforms. Because like you have to like go up and then make another and go up, because you can't jump, if I remember correctly, or if you can, it doesn't help. Like you can't get up to here from here, so you have to make rainbows to do it. And then you have to collect the fruit and get the points. And this is how you kill enemies: is you throw a rainbow at them, and if part of the rainbow hits it, it kills it and it turns it into fruit, just like in Bobble. But really, what you gotta do is you gotta get to the top. And then like ice climbers, there's like a little section at the top that's like bonus. It's a lot of fun, man. It's a good game. It's very arcadey. Like, it's all score-based. It gets harder with every level. You know, sometimes the levels are more geared towards the rainbows. Sometimes they're more geared towards the platforming. Sometimes you gotta kill the enemies. Sometimes you don't. It's a lot of fun, man. It gets very monotonous, though, which is why I have to put it in the B tier. It's one of those games that, like, you just get bored. You're like, oh, okay, this is what I have to do again. Which, I mean, Bobble can fall into that as well, but it's not as repetitious. You know, like, it's not as redundant as Rainbow Islands. Now, Rainbow Islands is, I give it props with the color schemes and stuff, but, I mean, just overall it's a B. You always called it kicks, too? Maybe it's quicks? Well, there's no W, but I see it with the Q. It could be like queen, you know, or quilt. Quicks, yeah, I don't know. That's a hard one. That's one you're just going to have to, like, ask the developer. But, you know, Nintendo times, we just made up our own shit as we went, you know. Okay, so this one here is a little bit different. Renegade. I think this game sucks. Now, a lot of people will like this game. It does have its merits, too. It has a pretty cool, like, cutscenes with the bike and all that stuff. But it's what it is, it's just a really shitty beat-em-up. Really shitty beat-em-up. I mean, like, the control is terrible. It's like, kind of like the first Double Dragon, but even worse. As you can tell from this screenshot, like, they tried to make the graphics the focal point, and it wasn't enough to make the game good. It's a very short game, very hard, but really it's mainly because, like, the controls are just unfair. Like, it's one of those games, like, you have to, like, stop punching, turn around, and then punch again. By that time, someone's hitting you again. You resort to just jump kicking. Like, it's bad. But, you know what? I'm going to put it in... God, no, I'm going to put it in the D category. It's just, it's bad, dude. Like, I don't like it. Now, but it has, a mini cult following. I don't know how or why, but it does. Maybe you have to be one of those people to enjoy it, but everyone else is going to hate it, in my opinion. And I don't know. I think it's horrible. It's garbage. Okay, so Sky Shark. It's what it is, man. It's a really shitty shmup. Shitty shmup. Now, I just personally hate shmups to begin with. Is this one of the worst? No. Is it one of the best? No. But you know what? It has good elements to it. Pink guys in pink jogging suits, yeah. But you know what? I'm gonna put it in the C category. because it's not bad for what it is. It's a shmup. You know, it looks a lot like 1942 and all that, but it has good graphics for what it is. You know, it kind of reminds me of Guerrilla Warfare graphics. I like the simplicity of the gun system. You know, you can get like a few upgrades, but not really. You know, it's more based just on the skill, the different enemies knowing their routes. So I mean, it's C tier. It's definitely C tier. Maybe even B, but I gotta go with C. So this one's called Target Renegade. Yes, it's like a better version of a shit game, but it's still shit. It's more Double Dragon-like, as you can tell. Graphics are a little bit better in my opinion, but the color schemes suck, the controls suck, the enemies suck. It's garbage, but it's at least decent smelling garbage, you know. It's C. It's not the worst game in the world, but you're not gonna want to play it much. All right, so Toki, not Token, Toki. This is a weird fucking game, man. So you're just monkey going around punching shit, and you can turn into like a big monkey and you just destroy shit. But it's a platformer. It reminds me a lot of Bonk. If you guys played Bonk or something like that, it's real basic, as you can tell. You know, just real basic platforming. You know, you collect the items, you have a couple hits, you know. I mean, it's just your basic platformer, but it's pretty good, man. I like the color schemes. You know, they're very bold colors, but I like the graphic style. Playing as a monkey is always kind of fun, you know, collecting monkey shit. The boss battles are hilarious. Like, you know, he makes like a lot of weird faces and stuff. You know, this is a pretty solid game, man. I'm gonna put it A tier. I don't want to put it S, because I don't think it deserves S. Like I said, it's just a little wonky. It needs a little polish, but solid game, dude. I had a good time playing Toki. I've actually never beaten this game yet. It's hard. It's actually pretty tough, but it's not tough. It's like the game itself isn't tough. It's just tough to beat with the amount of lives and continues and shit they give you. But it can be done with some practice, and it's one of those games that you wouldn't mind to practice because it's kind of fun. I like it. And finally, we come to Wrath of the Black Manta. Now, this game can go a few directions for me. I think the overall gameplay is really cool. It has that, like, double lines. Like, it's 2D, but, like, you can go from top to bottom, like in Bad Dudes, if you're familiar with, like, Bad Dudes, you know, top, bottom. This one does it really well, though. Like, you can jump up there, but then it has, like, an up and jump that automatically takes you there, and then it has the contra where you can go down and jump down here. The hitbox is a little wonky. It's kind of janky, but you get used to it, but you really don't. Even if you get used to it, you still take a lot of unnecessary damage, which I'm not a big fan of. You get the shooting stars, which is fun. It's kind of annoying to figure out. Like, you gotta go in the doors and do certain objectives and kill certain guys, and then certain guys you have to duck and hit, or they hit you, or you shoot a star over. Like, they'll be just high enough above these barrels on the other side, so you gotta shoot a star and duck. It's really like plotted out. It's real like an algorithm. Like, you just memorize, okay, for this guy you shoot and duck. Then you come up here for the next guy, duck and hit. Come back down for the, you know, you don't really play the game as you memorize it. But it's a lot of fun. I had a good time with Wrath of Black Manta. It's not a very long game, but it has a long play time because it's kind of tough. You're going to catch yourself game overing a lot. But then, like I said, once you memorize the levels, you get used to the controls a little bit because they're a little blocky. You know, it feels grid-like. You know, it's not real fluent. Like, you know, your jumps aren't very fluent. It kind of reminds you of like Mario 1 meets like grid-like. You just got to play it to really understand completely. I'm going to put it in the B category because I think it could be a lot better in a lot different ways. But it's not a bad game by any means. I just can't put it in the A category just because there's so much rough edges, you know? And then I can't put it in C because, like, it's fun, man. I had a good time with it. It's a good ninja game, man. I think they did it well, and it's pretty cheap. So there you go. Taito playlist. I mean, for the most part, I like Taito games. You know, there's a few real garbage titles here that I'd stay away from. But, I mean, for the most part, they make solid games. I've always said that. Like when I see Taito, I'm like, okay. I go in there with, you know, high hopes. I'm like, this is probably going to be a solid example of a good game, and they are for the most part. You know, like I said, stay away from these shit games. But you see Taito, man, pick it up. They make amazing platformers, good puzzle games. If you're into them, I'm not big into them, but a lot of people do like them. But yeah, dude, their platformers are solid, dude. Especially like Kickmaster, Power Blades. I mean, Little Samson, Bobble co-op. One of the best co-op games, if not the best co-op game. Second, like maybe Mendel Palace. So yeah, dude, Taito games, really good shit. So keep watching. Do that like, subscribe, follow thing. Links are down below. You guys know how it works. I'll be making some more of these tier lists for you on NES games. I don't know what I'll do next. Just stick around. And until next game, we'll see you guys. Peace.